All right, folks. Hello and welcome to Card Shop Insiders, a podcast where we take you inside the collectible game store and collectible gaming hobbies. I'm Noah, and I play games, lots of them.
Hi, I'm John. I'm the card shop owner. I'm brain dead today, so you get whatever you get. It was a long weekend.
John's not brain dead. He's just trying to cover up for, the usual. All right, on today's episode, we're going to go through some pretty cool news, some of the tangential news. I'm using that word again
I see that.
just to poke John.
I see that.
Some of the not directly game news, but adjacent to gaming. We've also got news in Star Wars, Lorcana, One Piece, Magic, maybe Yu-Gi-Oh, and definitely Pokemon. And then our main topic today, we're going to talk a little bit about what it's like when the store is closed, on all those quote-unquote days off that John has as the store owner, and really help you guys understand why it's like an awesome life goal to run your own card store, because you basically work 3 days a week and get to chill out the rest of the time.
Most definitely.
Maybe you'll find out in a minute that that's not true, or at least from John's perspective, that's not true. But let's jump into the news. Why don't we cover some of the game news real quick first? Big Lorcana release this week, going into set 6, Azurite Sea.
That's coming out on Friday.
People in the internet world are pretty excited about it. What's the temperature looking like in the store, John?
It's okay. I mean, it's not going to be like the first set. The enthusiasm has dwindled a little bit, but I think it's going to do well. And we're going to do a sealed event on Saturday, so that should bring in more people. I think people like to do competitive events. If they're going to buy product anyway, they may as well do it as a sealed event. So it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think the sealed event's an awesome way to get into it. I think there's a lot of fun to be had there. We had a lot of fun last time with it, and I think this is turning out to be a cool tradition to start off the set with a sealed event on the first weekend, give people a bunch of cards.
And I am really surprised that Ravensburger does not do a pre-release kit like like Magic does and Star Wars does. I've noticed because I was searching for banners before to copy some and change some to put it on the website, and a lot of stores are doing pre-release events, and they're making their own pre-release kits just like we're doing.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Ravensburger hasn't done it yet.
That's a little surprising. I mean, but it's also not. Their local level organized play is mediocre. They're taking the other route from the Star Wars game. Star Wars is really trying to push like in-store OP, developing into the higher tier of competitive play. And Lorcana's taking the other route where they're doing these regional big tournaments, and then they're doing a world championship, and whatever's happening at the store level underneath, they're just happy people are.
I think that's a big mistake. I think they need a ground root effort to make the individual stores, whatever they're doing, count and make it more viable, because that's the only way you're going to keep people engaged in the game.
They run set championships. I mean, that's,
but every 3 months?
Once a set, they give you a couple of playmats and 8 promo cards.
I mean, that's fine, but acknowledge the weekly events a little bit more. I think it's important.
Yeah. I think that's a big part of like continuing the organized play is having a reason to play every week. Because a lot of people can play in other places, but choosing to be in person in a store is something that they want to encourage. Particularly like we've talked about before, people that come in the store to play usually buy extra stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not bad for you either. Not a lot of other big Lorcana news right now. I guess the next big events that we're looking up to.
Yeah, Lorcana news. Talk about the pin. The controversy about the pin.
Yeah, there was a little bit of controversy on the internet this week. I haven't gotten to the bottom of it, but the gist of it was that the organized play kits for Azurite Sea have gone out to some stores, and people started getting pictures of it on the internet. And the pin, so there's a Lorcana pin that comes in every kit that can be given out as a prize, and it's like a little ribbon or banner that says Lorcana with a different color behind it.
And each set has a different color.
Each set so far has had a different color, and this one I believe is purple. And there was a little bit of a discussion about whether this is the same pin that was given out at Gen Con, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people were under the impression that it was a Gen Con exclusive pin, the purple color. But but now it's the set pin for set 6 here, and so people are a little frustrated. And you and I talked through it. I mean, I have never seen anything that said it was an exclusive pin from the convention. It was a pin that was available at the convention, but the assumption that it was exclusive wasn't a thing. Like, they mark cards as exclusive. They have Gen Con like logos on the exclusive stuff, and there's nothing on that pin that I've seen from the pictures that made it con exclusive. But people are pretty frustrated that it's the same color as the Gen Con pin.
Well, if you get on eBay or any of the secondary markets, you'll see convention only pin. That's how a lot of people, because I guess, like you said, the assumption was they got it at the convention and it's a convention only pin, and that's how they were selling those. So I'm going to get my kit. They're shipping it today, so I should have it Wednesday, and I'm curious to see what's in it, if there's going to be any difference in color.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty purple.
Pretty purple.
So
yeah,
we'll see what that is. I mean, I haven't seen any other thoughts, but maybe it's D23. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm seeing one here that's D23. Either way, big convention.
I don't know if they gave it out at D23. That was the promo cards where you can buy the set of 6 or whatever.
They gave out promo cards at Gen Con too.
Not like they did at D23.
Well, they didn't sell the pack, but they have. I mean, there are alternate art specific D23
Right.
and Gen Con.
Right. The one at D23
cards.
originally that you could buy for $50 were selling for up to $10,000 or more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The old stuff. Now we got new promos. All right, what else we got in news? One Piece. I actually found One Piece card game news. Are you impressed with me?
You did.
Yeah.
You really are a nerd.
I mean, I'm digging deep. So apparently, the One Piece card game announced the release or special release events for Royal Blood that will be taking place in Japan at Bandai's Namco stores from November 30th to December 8th. There's 13 different stores running organized play in Japan. I guess that always leads to the big question, like, are they going to do something similar in the U.S.? And how will they find to exclude you from it? But it says there's going to be a special Dawn card, whatever that is. And there's a 5-card promo pack from Volume 6 and a 4-card standard battle pack, Volume 10, that's going to be given out to participants.
I think that's a good idea. I mean, I hope it does come to the United States. And my hopes is that Bandai continues themselves to send out the promo kits to the individual stores and not through the distributors, because the distributors won't get them out. I don't even want to get on that R&R rant and rave session today because I'm calm. But if they do it they reward the stores, all the stores that run their weekly events, it'd be great. But the proof is in the pudding. We'll see what happens in the future.
I mean, I guess that's the big question. Will they go through distribution or will they go direct to stores? These seem to be like in-house stores, kind of like TCPI owns the Pokemon centers.
Yeah, I don't know if Bandai has any stores in the United States.
Well, Namco owns these stores, and Namco and Bandai are in the same corporation.
Yeah, does Namco have stores?
That's what it's in, not in the U.S.
Right, in
Japan. So
maybe they were in the Kmarts.
That's what it is. So they're doing Pokemon cards at Food Lion now, and they're doing One Piece at Kmart.
Oh, Jesus.
That's
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Rough distribution model.
Don't get me started.
All right. So that was our One Piece news that I found. What else did we have? We got more fallout from Magic's Secret Lair debacle from last week. Lots of articles this week. I came across the news feed about various criticisms of the Secret Lair process, but the biggest criticism being the change to a limited quantity print run instead of print on demand. And the fact that apparently the one piece of news that I thought was really interesting is that in the Hasbro earnings call the week before, the CEO of Hasbro announced that they were doing this Magic Secret Lair drop to their shareholders and that they expected it to sell out within minutes.
Uh-huh.
Like, so they knew. It's not a surprise. Like, they knew what was going to happen. The other thing that I found interesting and that we didn't talk about last week is that they had secret bonus promo cards that were in this Secret Lair drop. So there was the announcement that you can buy it, and then for every $250 you spend,
yeah.
you could get an extra card.
Yeah.
Well, every single different set of 5 cards had a special card that they hadn't revealed yet that was also going to be included that featured the character Groot, which is one of the most popular Marvel characters like ever produced. And they didn't want that like public, I guess, because it would have like increased demand even more. I don't know. Bottom line is they really have a lot of people upset, and there's no real discussion of any sort of fix for it. Like Magic's like cool. Like,
Let me ask you a quick question. If you had one question that you can ask the president of Wizards, what would you ask him?
I have no idea.
Because I signed up this morning for that retailer summit for
Oh, yeah.
tomorrow, and it says you can ask one question, post one question, and I didn't do it, but I can go back and do it if I want to.
I mean,
What the hell are they doing with Secret Lairs?
no, I mean, I guess the way my nature is, I wouldn't design a question that's intended to attack them. I would want to know, like, I would maybe phrase it differently and say, like, is Wizards going to do anything different with future Secret Lair projects based on the
To
feedback
make them
from,
available to many more.
based on the feedback from Marvel? Like,
Okay.
that's an interesting way to phrase that question. It still kind of stabs them a little bit, like, "Hey, you
Okay.
screwed this up," but it doesn't put them fully on the defensive. And maybe they'll say, "Look, no, we're not changing anything," or more likely they'll say, "We're listening to the feedback, and announcements will come in the future," which makes me feel like it's kind of a waste of a question. But maybe they give you an answer.
As soon as we're finished with the podcast, I'm going to get on to, the invitation, and I'm going to ask that question, and we'll see if it gets answered tomorrow.
I think it's interesting. One of the
And getting back to the Secret Lair, one of my customers got 2.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, just doesn't have frost her butt. Her boyfriend, however, did not get any.
I mean, it doesn't really bother me that much. I didn't get lucky on the drama for it. I'm really interested in some of the online commentary. People are really mad that the resellers are selling these for such a huge like profit margin,
What do you expect?
and I think it's an unfair criticism.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that when it's announced in advance that it's a limited print run product, and you're fortunate enough to be able to buy them, and you intended to buy them for the purpose of reselling them, like there is no social or moral contract that says that you have to sell it for the price you bought it for. And the fact that it's limited makes it scarce, and economic principles apply, so you charge a premium for a scarce item. I think it's silly that people are really mad that people are selling it for more than what they paid for it, and that people are buying them.
maybe a better question would be to Wizards. Is there any thought to allowing or providing stores through the distributors to get involved in all the Secret Lairs instead of making them an online exclusive only? That would be interesting because they're excluding the stores.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting. I mean, what was it? I remember years ago with the 20th anniversary set, like they sent you one of those to sell or to distribute, like however you decided to, right?
Yep.
And they used to send those to you like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But would they, I mean, why are they not doing something like that? What would it really be that bad for Magic if they added, I mean, how many LGS stores are there? 10,000?
Probably.
If they added a 10,000 print run and gave one to every store and
Well,
said, do with it what you will.
In all fairness to Wizards, with the 30th anniversary, we did get a 30th anniversary set.
So you've gotten so they've been giving out the decade anniversary ones to you
Right.
guys.
And that's selling online. It cost us nothing.
Yeah.
It's selling online for $1,200 to $1,300 right now.
And they weren't intended for you to resell though.
You could do whatever we
Or just
want,
do whatever?
whatever we want, and they told us we could do whatever we want.
I mean,
Now,
you
Premier stores got two.
quite frankly though, even an offer to let you purchase the secret layers would be better than where we are right
Yeah,
now.
I agree.
Like they don't need to give it to you for free.
No, I would
Like
buy a few.
charge it for 250 and let you buy it, and you know you're going to be able to resell it for 500. I mean, you'd buy that and resell it.
Of course. And I don't know if I would double the price. If some of my regular customers who are here all the time, as long as I made some money on it,
Yeah.
I would sell it to them at a better price.
Well, and that's, I think, kind of how running a store works. Like you want to sell at a good price locally and at a market price on the internet, right?
Yeah, but I don't want to sell at the inflated prices either. I had somebody come in the
No.
other day and they said, the reason we like buying from you, we feel you're honest
Mm-hmm.
and you offer the best prices around here. And I said, well, I appreciate that. And they said, we appreciate you the way you do business. And
Yeah.
I was gratified by that.
Well, but we've talked about that a lot, about the culture that you try to generate and build in the store, and that's one of them. I guess while we're talking about Magic, though, why don't we talk about pricing, and let's talk about the singles market for the One Ring from the Lord of the Rings set.
Mm-hmm.
We've joked before about the $1 million One Ring, but there's a regular print version of that card that's been selling for 50 to $100 for months. It was put on the watch out for an update on this list that Magic is going to give an announcement in the next month or so.
Mm-hmm.
And people are expecting that it's going to either be banned or restricted in some way for competitive play. And so now the market price of the card is dropping fairly substantially.
I think it's going to go back up because a lot of people bought that card as a collector item too.
I think so. There's several versions of the card. There's a full art version. There's a full art foil version. There's a regular version. There's a foil version. There's a serialized version. There's a 1-of-1 version.
I have in the case right now a version that came in a pre-release kit.
There's a pre-release kit version.
Yeah, and that was selling for like $192 or something like that. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what it's up there, if it's down or it doesn't matter. It's still in the case. It's pretty to look at.
That's what you go for.
Yep.
The aesthetic value.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. I think it raises a couple of questions in terms of like how Wizards manages some of this market stuff. They've created a card that is hard to reprint, right? It's specific to the Lord of the Rings IP. It may be outside of their license with the Lord of the Rings to reprint that card.
Could be.
And so it creates, again, a scarcity situation where what they've put out there in the world is what's out there. And the card's really good. So in the Eternal or Legacy formats, the long time formats that don't experience rotation and keep these cards in them for a long time, it's always going to be a good card.
The hype about the Universes Beyond sets, the Spider-Man, the Marvel, the Final Fantasy, is exceptional right now because I have people currently, and Final Fantasy is not due out until I think June or something like that.
That's right.
They're asking me, can I pre-order it? How many are you going to get? What's the pricing? And we're 7 months out, at least 7 months.
Yeah.
And my answer to them is no, 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 because I don't know how many I'm going to be allocated. I don't know the pricing yet. And I'm not taking any pre-orders because I am not going to know how many I'm going to get. However, I've pretty much assured all my regular customers who buy all the time from me, in the back of my mind, without writing it down on paper, they're going to get priority on it. And because I always get people from other stores that call me, do you have this? Do you have that? Well, I've never heard from you before. I could see it on the caller ID. No, I don't have any, or they're all, promised out. That's my position.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why people continue their patronage of the store, right? Like, they know that you take care of the people that are shopping with you and that come in regularly. And I think we appreciate that. I do. And you've said people have commented on it today. So, all right, let's jump off of games. Well, stay in the games category. Let's talk about our other news for a second. I got some really cool ones this week. let's see. Should we start with controversy?
Did we cover what Brandon's looking for? He's looking for Yu-Gi-Oh and One Piece. So we did One
I got
Piece.
nothing from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh. We had the quarter century Bonanza
Yeah,
set release. It was a mat tournament this weekend, and we did okay. Uh, Konami sent two mats to give out, one to the winner and one to the highest dice roll got the other one, and it worked out well. We brought more people in, and I sold out of all uh, the product that I got in on Wednesday night, and I was able to get six more. They're coming in on Wednesday, so that it's basically Rarities Collection 3.
yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, so that's what's going on there, Brandon.
Well, let's finish up our games before we do our.
What happened?
The audio stopped. It's back. Um,
We
let's.
got top-notch equipment.
Yeah, we are. We're really good at this. Let's finish up our games real quick. First, Pokemon, our favorite topic that we don't sell a lot of, but we probably could sell more of. Um, Pokemon TCG Pocket, directly competing with their paper card sales. They're up to 30 million downloads. And they are being criticized for promoting gambling to children.
Oh, really?
My problem with the article, first of all, that's a extreme position to put in the tagline so that you get people to click on the article. And
Who's criticizing them?
I mean, parents, the people that let their kids download this crap on their tablets and then they get mad when they click buy now. It's supposed to be a free to play game and there's stuff, but you can buy things and you can spend real world money to turn it into fake digital cards, and free to play games are cheating, scary, bad things. Here's a picture of the market, and you can spend $10 to get 10 packs of cards basically, which is just terrible, and the pull rates are horrible, and you get these digital assets that are only digital assets. And I'm like, okay, if we're going to call it gambling, then it's all gambling. Like, cracking packs is a form of gambling. And in this definition, I don't agree that it's insidious and bad like gambling can be. We don't need to run if you're addicted to opening cards, please call the 1-800 number to get help. But I mean, there are people that have an addiction to opening these cards. There's a dopamine hit that comes from ripping packs.
Mm-hmm.
And people are capitalizing on that by opening the packs on the internet, selling and opening packs on Whatnot, and by running card stores where you sell a good deal of packs, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, in a practical world, and not to hurt your business in any way, if you're only a player of the game, you're not opening packs. Right? Like the most practical, competitive person that wants to play this, they're probably never going to crack a pack open except for in a sealed tournament.
Right. They would go online or
to buy the
local
singles
store, buy the singles.
Right? That's why you have a singles inventory.
Yeah.
People can buy the singles because instead of spending $100 for an Ice Age booster pack or some other old $100 pack, they can come to your store and they can spend $27 and get 4 copies of the card they're looking for.
If I have it.
If you have it.
So don't come into the store and say, hey, Noah said you got it.
John's got 4 of everything.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
Some of it's just not in inventory yet.
Getting back to that terminology, gambling.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would categorize it as, you know how sometimes software comes out and they have a free version and it has a watermark on it and it has this on it and it has limitations. And sometimes you can do the free version for 14 days, 7 days, whatever. Then it forces you to buy the paid version. I think this is, equivalent of a free version. All right. You can do the free version, but you're not going to get anything out of it. Yes, if you want to make it better, then you have to, put some shekels into it, money, that is, to enhance the experience of playing. And the company's not stupid. They're luring these people in with, hey, it's free to play. Yeah, it's free to play at an elementary level. And then once you get hooked into it, you're going to want to buy this, you're going to want to buy that, you're going to want to buy sleeves, you're going to want to buy whatever the hell else they're selling.
Yeah.
And that's that's what they're doing.
Well, that's what this is an article from Kotaku.com, and one of the things that it says in here is that there are 12 different in-game currencies. This stripped-down 20-card deck version of the game is a masterclass in gotcha gambling game design, feeding you handfuls of each currency when you first start playing, teaching you all the gameplay loops, and then, right when it all becomes natural, it cuts you off hard. Here, the only way to add new cards to your deck is to engage with the systems that inly encouraged you to spend real-world money within the app on top of an array of other systems that peter out just before you're done unless you fork out the cash.
I wonder how much money they've drawn in so far since it's been implemented.
So let's get, the base thing that it pushes is like opening 10 packs at a time, which is about $10 US.
Okay.
If 30 million downloads did it one time each, that's $300 million.
That's your salary in a month.
Yeah. Right.
A year? No.
John, our editing would be a lot better if I had that kind of cash. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I mean, they've made a pretty penny off of this little sucker.
And they're going to continue to do so.
And people aren't going to stop, right?
No, it's not.
I mean,
it's just like Pokemon Go.
And there's a maximum you can spend per day in the game.
Oh, really?
$120 US.
Oh, wow. So they don't want more money from you?
No, they want to make sure you keep coming back. You got to do it again tomorrow.
It's a teaser.
It builds the habit, and then when they release more content down the road, you're still committed to the habit, and so you're going to keep doing it.
Are they owned by a cigarette company?
I mean, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, I know. It's sad. And, a lot of parents are going to say to little Billy Bob, if you're quiet, I'll let you buy $20 or $40 worth of product.
Yeah.
And little Billy Bob's going to do it every week. They're not going to come in the store to buy product. That's another thing. They're not going to come in and buy packs.
Well, these aren't the same cards. Like, they're different.
But Mama and Daddy are going to say, Billy Bob, you spent
you got
$40
on the phone.
This week, and your allowance that's it for the month, so you can't go to the card shop or to Walmart or to Target and buy any more cards.
Yeah.
I don't care what they are.
All right.
They're taking money out of the store's pockets, basically.
Last piece of Pokemon news, Pokemon TCG news. Pokemon TCG is going for a world record. And John, I think you and I need to have a serious conversation about trying to play in this world record.
What does it involve?
They are going to attempt, with a group of European content creators, to break the Guinness World Record for longest consecutive TCG unboxing. They are going for 24 hours straight of opening Surging Sparks. On November 20th, it's going to be a live streamed event. There's going to be content creators and prizes for people that are watching. And whoever's on the camera is going to be actively opening packs for the entire 24 hours. So there's rules. I mean, I'd have to look up the specifics of how this works.
I wonder how many packs will be opened for that one particular store. Now, you're talking...
It's not a store.
How the hell are they going to...
TCPI is providing the product.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they've enlisted a bunch of content creators to be on the stream, and they're going to attempt to break the world record, which was set, I think, by you.
Well, there's no way in hell we're ever going to qualify. You know that.
Well, there's no way we are, but maybe we can make that a Patreon top tier. If we have 100 $10,000 patrons, we can have them all participate in.
What the hell have you been smoking today?
A lot of things.
Oh, I can see that.
Let's see if I can figure out who's got the record right now.
Pokemon's going to TC. Yeah, they're going to provide the product. That should be interesting.
Well, they're trying to take the record, man. They want to go 24 hours. I don't know. It doesn't say who has it. Anyway, we'll figure that out. But I'm interested. Maybe we'll join the party on the 21st and talk about their world record while they try to set their world record. But it was an interesting little piece of news for me.
You really, really scrubbed deep to get this stuff, didn't you?
I didn't have to scrub that deep, but now we're going to talk gossip. You ready to talk gossip?
Let it rip.
All right. Are you familiar with FTX and cryptocurrency?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the one that Sam, whatever?
Yeah, Sam Bankman-Fried.
Right.
Did you see the lawsuit that got filed, I think, last week?
Mm-hmm.
Here, let me say some names. Do you know Magic players?
Not really, but
Famous Magic players?
go ahead.
Matt Nass, Luis Scott Vargas,
I know that.
Josh Layton.
Don't know.
So these guys and some other people apparently have been sued as part of a business that they own. Allegedly, according to what I've seen on, and I checked this on a bunch of different websites this morning before putting this into the outline. But according to the lawsuit that was filed, they were running a video game company and they took like $25 million from FTX to develop and sell a video game, and they distributed most of the money to themselves, and they got stock in FTX too as part of this deal. And then obviously FTX has gone defunct, and now they're suing a bunch of other entities to try to recoup money as part of the like fall apart or fallout from what's happened.
So there'll be a whole bunch of Magic professional players playing in jail with Big Bubba.
Maybe
That's what's going to happen.
Well, then this is a civil lawsuit. It's not a jail thing.
No.
So what they're trying to do is, so they were supposed to make a game called Storybook Brawl, and the game never made it out of the beta testing phase. And this company wants, like the shareholders of FTX want the money back so they can distribute it back out to the shareholders because FTX has gone bankrupt from the Sam Bankman-Fried stuff. So what? I mean, this says on this one, on one hand, that through October of 2022, they were each paid somewhere between $300,000 and $450,000 in salary for March to October. Like, that's a pretty good salary. That's 6 months. Your 6 month salary is $350,000.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they got bonuses. The lowest bonus on this chart was $2.3 million plus 53,000 shares in FTX.
How can it not be a criminal thing instead of just a civil?
They haven't been charged with any crimes. This is a civil lawsuit.
Not yet.
I mean, they'd have to prove a pretty high threshold. It would be a fraud claim, right? Like they would have to say that you induced the transfer of funds knowing you were never going to produce the game, but they put a game into beta testing. They're not going to win the criminal convictions on that. They were making progress on a game. It just didn't happen. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. Real world crazy scariness. Disney News, did you see the inspiration picture graph for at D23 Brazil for the new villains area?
Yeah.
Here, let's go.
Brazil?
D23 Brazil was last week.
Okay.
And they made a new special announcement, and we're going to put it up on the screen.
The Villains Land at Disney World?
For the Villains Land in U.S. Disney World that we knew about because they've had permitting for. And they posted an inspiration set of pictures, and they said, hey, check it out. We're going to be doing a Villains Land. You got that on your screen?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what these are?
No.
All right, start top left. That's the 5-cost Queen of Hearts from Lorcana. The next one over is the 3-cost Jafar.
Yeah.
Then we got 5-cost the Queen. We got 6-cost Lady Tremaine. We got Yzma, Cruella de Vil, Captain Hook, Maleficent, Gaston, the Queen. We got another, what's that lady's name? Mother Gothel, Ursula, Hades, Chernabog, and Maleficent Dragon. That bottom right one is like the $70 card from the first set.
Oh, okay.
Like these are all card images from Lorcana. And this is the panel discussing what's going to be put up in Disney World. at their villain's land.
It makes you wonder if Disney is going to attempt to buy Ravensburger eventually,
I mean,
or take the game over somehow, some way, and take
Yeah.
Star Wars over. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Disney has that kind of bucks. They're struggling to compete with Universal right now because Universal's coming out with that Epic Land in, was it May or June?
yeah.
And they're going to do whatever they can to compete, and they
I mean,
have the
that's-
money to do so.
I'm just saying, this is super interesting.
It is.
Like, in a place where you would normally see like a Disney artist with Disney concept art,
Mm-hmm.
they put up 20 pictures
Of Lorcana.
of Lorcana IP.
It's interesting.
Like, Ravensburger has been paying artists to make this art.
You think Ravensburger is going to sue them?
Are they? No. Well, my question is Ravensburger actually buying this art, or is Disney commissioning and buying this art and giving it to Ravensburger? And then there's a whole nother thing about all this made up lore that they're doing with this storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Magic is going away from their own IP. And Disney's making up new stuff with Ravensburger about the Azurite Sea and these people traveling the world looking for the half Hexwell crown. Like, where's all this going and coming from?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to pan out over the next couple of years. And, is there more D23 events coming up other than the one you said in Brazil?
Probably.
I didn't realize they had them outside the United States.
Well, they did it in London like 2 years ago.
I never was aware.
Let's see. D23 events for our Disney podcast. D23 Brazil is last weekend in Sao Paulo. And it doesn't say the next one. Oh, that's not useful. I don't know.
It makes you wonder the far reaches of the Disney empire,
Right?
who started out a little squeaky mouse.
It's a little squeaky mouse.
Yeah.
Actually, he didn't squeak, he whistled.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
All right. 2 more things on the news, and then let's talk about how the shop runs in the day. First thing, Jeopardy, 3-day champ, Magic player, professional Magic player.
Who was it?
It's last name's Jolene. What's his first name again? Greg Jolene. 3-day Jeopardy champ is a professional Magic player. So
He must be pretty smart. Or did
he lost.
He lost?
He did.
Oh.
He's already out, but he took home $135,000 and qualified for the Tournament of Champions. So
Because of money earnings?
no, because of consecutive wins.
Yeah.
But that was pretty good.
3's not many.
No, but most people don't win 3 days in a row. Most people don't get on. All right, John, how well do you know your product? Can you name the top selling sealed products on TCG Player for the last month?
Selling?
Sealed card games. Like what product is selling the most?
Probably Pokemon.
They have some of the things on the top, but they are not the top.
Well, I mean, the big 3 are Pokemon, Magic, and
Well, if you name the card games, but which specific product? Like what Pokemon product do you think sold the most in the last month?
I forgot the previous set's name, but it was in Surging Sparks.
It is Surging Sparks.
It was?
Yeah.
It just came out.
Yeah, and it sold the most in October.
I bet you I know what's going to sell in January.
Oh, those are going to sell a lot.
Yeah.
Here's the top 10. Magic Foundation's collector booster displays. Individual booster boxes of Surging Sparks. One Piece Awakening New Era booster boxes. Yu-Gi-Oh! Rage of the Abyss booster boxes at number 4. Magic Foundation's Play Boosters displays. Pokemon Surging Sparks cases came in at 6. So individual boxes sold at 2, but cases came in at 6. Arthurian Legends from Sorcery Contested Realm squeezes in at number 7. I have no idea what that game is.
Me neither.
What else do we have? One Piece 2 Legends booster displays. That was 8.
Oh, that's the one I can't get from my distributor.
Yeah, 8th most popular sealed product in the country right now.
Oh, is it?
Stellar Crown
Right,
booster
that was
boxes.
the previous.
That's the previous set. That
Yeah.
came in at 9. And then squeezing in there at number 10, Twilight of the Republic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No Lorcana?
Lorcana does not show up on the list until 25.
No kidding.
And guess which set it is?
First set, if it's some available, I don't know.
First set.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. If there was more of the first set available, I'm sure it would have been in the top 10. But I'm sure the lack of availability has put it way down. However, I'm kind of surprised by Star Wars Twilight of the Republic.
Right?
We're doing okay. And when I talked to my sales rep this morning, he said, it's good that you're reordering, because I did reorder a couple of steel boxes.
Yeah.
He said some stores that just relied on Star Wars when it came out are not reordering because they're just not getting the people. He said some stores like yourselves that are running other events in the mix, he said, are doing okay. It's still not crazy, but it's okay.
Yeah. No, I think I've been thinking about the Star Wars market a lot. I think that there may be a really big market for Star Wars singles, particularly going into this competitive cycle that they're doing. As far as sealed product or on the local level goes, I still think the way to drum up interest and sell that product is to do organized sealed and draft play.
Well, we are.
And we're going to try. We've talked about that.
I put it in the info blast that went out today.
Yeah.
So we're going to do it not this coming week.
Not this week, but next week.
The following week.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there's a market for that stuff still, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Star Wars singles market isn't like pretty huge for the next like 6 or 8 months while they're leading up to that big Vegas event.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I got for news, though. Why don't we transition out of the news now and let's talk about our topic. So, John, you've been running a game store for about 20, 25 years. And 26 years total. And a lot of people are really impressed with the fact that you have managed to find a full-time job, that you only have to work 4 days a week. What is it? Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, I mean, obviously, being a man of advanced life experience.
You mean old? Is that what you're saying?
I did.
No, old.
I did mean old. So obviously, being a man of advanced life experience, you know how to take advantage of days off. And so, like, we thought we could talk for a little bit today about what it's really like, you know, being able to run a store for 4 days a week, and then tell us about days off and what goes on. Where do you want to start?
Well, it's kind of funny because one of my customers came in the other day and said, hey, you work 4 days a week, as you mentioned, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What do you do on your days off? You know, what do you do? And I said, I am here at the store 7 days a week, basically. When I first opened, and I know I said this originally, I was open up 7 days a week. Now, some of those days I got absolutely no business, so I had no business opening those days. You know, running a shop or a store of any type, whether it's a card shop, an ice cream shop, or whatever, it takes work, dedication, and commitment. All right. So when I retired 26 years ago and opened up this store, much to the chagrin of my ex-wife at the time, you know, I'm committed to making it work. I'll do whatever I can to make it work. And right now, I don't have any days off. I'm here all the time. And, you know, I said to the guy that was asking me, what do I do? You know, my days off, do I go here or I go there? I said, no, this is what I've done today. Okay. I couldn't go to the bank because today is a bank holiday. I haven't gotten a chance yet to put the foundation single cards into inventory yet because I have to open up the boxes of them, alphabetize them, then put them into inventory. Maybe I'll get to it tomorrow. Maybe I'll get to it Wednesday. And I hope to get to it by at least Thursday. And I'll probably take some of this stuff home. I didn't get a chance to go to Costco or Sam's Club today because I just didn't get a chance to. I had other things that I had to do that are store related. All right. For instance, the first thing I did this morning was check with my other distributors for additional product that I needed. When I came in, and even last night, I said to myself, Self, I had a good weekend. What did I sell out of? What can I possibly get more of? So I got on one website last night, my secondary distributor, and I ordered some product. And I sent her a confirming text message this morning. And she said to me, well, the order that you sent in, we can't fulfill because there is no product. It's sold out. Luckily, in talking to my primary distributor, I asked, and he said, good thing you asked. He said, because we're just not going to offer it out to people. I'm able to get 4 more boxes of collector packs.
That's great.
Which is great, really good. But I had 10 boxes. In a small store like this, I sold out of every single one that I had. All right, so I checked my shelves and everything and put my order in. And talking to my sales rep takes about 20 to 25 minutes. Make sure that I'm aware of what's going on. I ask him questions about how the general market's going, what's coming out, what I should be looking at, and he's very informative. All right, then I had to sign up for the Wizards Retailer Summit, which is tomorrow. So that took a little time. And I had to sign an NDA online in order to participate in it. So I'm curious to see what that's going to be like tomorrow. There's going to be the head of marketing making a presentation. There's going to be Mark Rosewater making a presentation. And I think the guy's name is Hinson. I think.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
The CEO?
The new CEO of Wizards.
Yeah.
Making a presentation. So it should be interesting. I'm curious to see what they're going to come out with. Now, signing an NDA, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't matter to me. I'm not going to tell everybody what the hell's going on anyway.
Wait, John, we have a podcast.
No, I'll forget it after I get off the after I go off the podcast. But invariably, it's going to leak. There's going to be stuff out there anyway.
Yeah.
Well, we can. I'll write it down. We can talk about it on the podcast, providing you assume all liability as my attorney for.
No, see, the way being a lawyer works is we take no liability.
Okay, well, then the hell, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. Completed the info blast. For those that don't know it, that's my newsletter.
Uh-huh.
And I sent it out to everybody, and then I posted it to Facebook. And one of my customers takes it off of Facebook and puts it onto Discord. So that takes a little bit of the pressure off of me. But just to compose the info blast every week, I have to make sure all the codes are right. I have to make sure that I know what the hell I'm talking about. Half the time people don't read and they come in the store. Well, what's running this week? What's the code for this? Did you get the info blast? Yes, but I didn't open it. But half the people do, half the people don't. But that takes time. Then I had to prepare for this podcast. It took me maybe a half hour or so to prepare for it and think about what I was going to talk about, because I didn't have a subject that I wanted to talk about this morning when I first came in. And then all of a sudden I had a revelation. Hey, this is what I want to talk about. Then I had to report to Konami 2 events. One is the Lost Art promo report that has to go in. You have to justify, like if they send you 15 copies, you have to justify, that you sold them and so forth and so on. What did the players like about it? Was the promotion easy to administer? Yeah, it's been like that for 2.5, 3 years now. You'd have to be an idiot not to do it right. It's $30 in sealed product, not including tax. And that's sealed Konami product, not sealed sleeves or anything like that. And I tell some of these people the same thing over and over and over again. This is how many packs you need to buy in order to get this Lost Art promo.
Yeah.
All right, so that had to be reported. Then, because we ran the Quarter Century Bonanza event on Sunday, where we gave out the mats that they provided, I had to submit up to 4 pictures along with a report. And I remembered to take pictures on Sunday, and I took pictures of the the two mats that were given out and who received them. That had to go to Konami, so that takes time. Let me see. And then I spied on other stores. I mentioned this before. I get into their Facebook pages, and they tell you everything they're doing. You can look at their schedule. You can look and see what they're charging. You can look to see what you're up against, what you're competing against. And if you're lucky enough, you'll see pictures of maybe some of the participants. And then you'll say, that son of a gun is over there now. And that's where he's at. But, I spent a little time, not a lot of time, but a little time investigating the things that I think are helpful to me as a store owner. And it's important because you really need to know what your competition is doing.
It's called market research, not spying.
Well, it's market research, spying, whatever. That's what I did. And then I had to set up a Lorcana event on Melee for our pre-release tournament this weekend. And before I forget, before you leave today, I want you to check it, make sure that I didn't screw it up. And then I updated the website pictures. I have sliders that go across my website. And I put on the Azure at Sea pre-release on there with the time on it. And I'm going to look back at it, see if there's any other pictures I need to update. But that's basically what I did so far today. And all of a sudden, what time is it now? It's almost 4:00.
Yeah.
My day is shot to hell. And I know what's going to happen. I'll get online tonight. Maybe I'll start putting some singles, in inventory. And invariably, I'm going to fall asleep. I've done it many times where I get onto the system and, maybe take 50 cards and start putting them in the inventory. And before you know it, it's 2:00 in the morning and I'm drooling at the computer because I fell asleep. And it's just because there's so much to do that it leaves very, very little time to do things that you need to do for yourself.
Yeah.
The store takes that much time. Tomorrow's going to be the same thing. Again, I didn't get a chance to go to the bank. Tomorrow's bank day. Tomorrow's Costco or Sam's day. And then there's other things that I'm going to need to do that I've mentioned before. Straighten out the shelves. Make sure, I don't really vacuum anymore. I have somebody who comes in on Friday that will vacuum or take out the trash and take out the cardboard and restock the refrigerator. And then I set the Roomba loose during the week and, it does the main areas pretty well. But, as an older person, what'd you say before? What'd you call me? Advancing?
Experienced in life.
Experienced in life. What he's saying is old. I'm going to be 78 next month. And the things that I used to be able to do things at 110%. Now, I'm lucky if I could do it at 60%. It's not the mental aspect of it. It's the physical aspect of it. Trying to get around. Yeah. Trying to, put items on the shelf. What used to take me, an hour would take me 2.5 to 3 hours now because I have to slow down. And I realize my limitations. So that's my off days that I'm not working at the store. And then people will knock on the window.
No.
All the time. And this one kid all the time comes in. Oh, you're not open? I said, no, that's what I told you last week. I only open up Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I thought you said Tuesday.
Oh, okay. What do you want? Come on in at 11:41. I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Don't say it.
Yeah, I'm going to say
Uh-oh.
it.
Where's the mute button?
The old thing about the sharpest tools in the shed, right?
Yeah.
I don't think some of these kids actually even make it to the front door of the damn shed. That's my honest opinion. They haven't even gotten into the shed yet.
Not even close to the sharpener.
Not even close. So that's on my off days. And every day is very similar. I have very little time to myself. And anybody that gets into a business that is running it full time, that's also working a full-time job.
Yeah.
God help them because I don't know how they do it.
Well, I think it's really helpful to hear that there's a bunch of stuff. It's not just like vacations and beach time when you're not open. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do. And I think to be fair, if people think about what's going on when the store's open, you don't have the time or space to like break out 1,000 singles cards on the desk over there and sort and inventory them while you're running a shop.
Yeah.
I mean, the shop is a social experience. We've talked about that before. And having you at the counter being able to talk to and engage with players and people that are in the store is part of the experience here. And if you just like put your head down at the desk and type away, that's not going to bring people back through the door. And people that come back through the door buy more than people that never come back.
Well, even if I'm pulling an order, I mean, I've gotten some of the guys. They actually they'll come behind the counter to help me pull an order, and I'll be pulling an order, and I'll have this obnoxious kid asking me questions, and not to the point where he's being obnoxious purposely, but asking questions. And I said, "Didn't I tell you to wait till I
Yeah.
finish this order?"
Situationally, people just don't care.
No, they just don't care about your time.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's what I want to talk about.
Well, let's pull up one more thing, and then we'll be able to rock and roll. We are jumping over to our educational piece. Did you bring anything educational for us
Yes,
today?
I didn't tell you what it was.
Oh,
here I have it right.
John
here.
with the sneaky trick
Right
action.
here.
I put mine in the outline this week, so
Go ahead. Go with yours.
no,
first.
we want yours first. I'm still pulling up some information about mine. Maybe mine's not
Did
as
you
cool.
put yours in? Let's see what you want to talk about.
Don't tell everybody.
I'm not going
It's
to
big
tell
secret.
everybody. Okay. Yeah, I did read that. That's one place I've never been to.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've never been to that.
Really?
Nope, never been to that entity. However, that is on my to-do list that I'm going to do for myself one day.
All right. What'd you bring us?
Basketball.
Like, where did it come from?
No. We won't even talk about our rivalry between Duke and what's that?
It's not a rivalry.
The Tar Heels.
If you have to feel like you have to lash
Tar
out
Heels.
like this, it's obviously not a rivalry because you have been
Yeah.
so sorely treated.
Did you guys? Oh, wait a minute. Kansas? Was it Kansas? Oh, yeah, it was Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We played a real team.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys played
all right. Well,
Army.
Government
Government.
basketball.
Like the NBA?
No. Government basketball. There's a basketball court in the Supreme Court building.
I knew that.
Oh, you did that? Okay.
I tried to get to play there when I was an intern in the U.S. Senate, but I never got
really?
the invite.
Well, it's nicknamed the highest court in the land. It's a small gym on the top floor that includes a basketball court. It's not open to the public, but court employees use it.
Yeah.
I found that to be very interesting.
So-
I never knew that.
To get on it, I was trying to make friends with an intern at the Supreme Court and get an invite to the game, and I just never got the invite to the game.
Really?
I wanted to play there.
Who were you going to play against?
Whoever else they brought.
Who was the Chief Justice at that time? Not Roberts.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't there then.
Yeah, he was. It's
Roberts? No, he's
He's
only
been
been there recently.
No, he's been there a long time.
John Roberts?
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm getting old. Clarence Thomas was there.
He's been there for the whole time. Yeah.
All right. And my next, this is really interesting. Wombat. You know what a wombat is, right?
Yeah. Love a wombat.
Wombat poop
Oh,
is
dear.
cube shaped.
I did know that.
You did, huh?
They also have the butts of steel, right?
They must.
Because they like stick their head down in their hole and they stick their butt out of the hole and it can't get like ripped off by the predators. It's
Oh,
like
really?
one of their defense mechanisms.
They just hit him with square poop.
Yeah.
All right. Wombats have a unique digestive system that produces cube-shaped droppings, which helps them mark their territory without it rolling away. So the shit doesn't roll downhill.
It doesn't roll anywhere.
Right. All right. Sharks existed before trees. Did you know that?
Sharks?
Sharks existed before trees.
Interesting.
Sharks have been around for about 400 million years, whereas trees only appeared around 350 million years ago. So sharks were swimming around before forests were even a thing.
Interesting.
How's that?
That's a fascinating
All right,
piece of
now
information.
we're gonna, since we're talking about forests, you see how I'm segueing into this one?
It was a
You
great
like that?
forest.
Your
I
turn.
mean, a great segue.
Go ahead.
All right. I put on the news list that the North Carolina Zoo is among a handful of U.S. botanical gardens to earn an international recognition for plant conservation. And while that is cool, and we'll tell you what that was here. So it says, according to the Botanic Gardens Conservation International, uh, the North Carolina Zoo was accredited for its work in plant conservation and care in the past week. Um, but the North Carolina Zoo is a fun pile of trivia in lots of different ways. It is the largest natural habitat exhibit zoo in the world. Physically largest. It has 2,600 acres
Oh,
of land with 1,800 animals and 52,000 plants.
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's it's pretty cool. I mean, there's a bunch of cool stuff, but they've had more than 30 million guests visit the zoo over its lifetime, and it had a record-breaking attendance during COVID from
I can
2021
see
to
that.
2022.
Well, they're gonna have 30 million one because I plan on going down
You're
there.
planning to go down there?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for. Well, they offer senior discounts too, so I'm definitely gonna go there.
Well, we keep a membership to either the zoo or the aquarium. They're interchangeable in terms of the benefits.
Oh, I've been to the aquarium. You
But
talking about Atlantic Beach or
yeah,
whatever?
well, there's North Carolina has 5 aquariums,
Okay.
but yeah, and you get
Now,
all
do they
kinds of
have
cool
a
stuff
like an arboretum down there or something like that?
at the North Carolina Zoo. Yes, I think it's currently closed for. Well, it was currently closed for refurbishment.
Okay.
They're building a new land, an Asian section. So the North Carolina Zoo is divided by continents:
Mhm.
North America and Africa. And then I guess if you're from one of the other continents, you're just not there. Um, but they're doing an Asian area, and they've put a big expansion in, and they're building all this stuff. It's almost done. It should be open in the next couple of months, I think.
Did you ever go to the Museum of Life and Sciences over here in Durham
Oh yeah,
with the butterfly
yeah,
exhibit? That's cool. I like that.
very cool. Yeah, lots of fun stuff. This area, the state has a lot of cool different things.
It
The
does.
Museum of Natural History in Raleigh is closed for refurbishment right now. I think they were changing a bunch of the exhibits out.
Is that the one with the big globe in the front?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also like to go to the Smithsonian zoos in DC. I find that to be
Yeah, I've been there numerous
entertaining.
times.
But you've never been to the North Carolina Zoo, huh?
Nope.
Take your scooterator.
I am.
Yeah, it's not a walk-in party for
No,
you.
no way. I mean, you can rent them down there too, but I
For
have my own.
actually, for an incredibly reasonable fee, you can get a golf cart guided tour of the zoo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not that bad actually.
I may take advantage of it.
Here,
But I
hold
got
on.
my scooter, so
I'm on the zoo website.
I'm going to go
looking it up.
down there.
Let's see.
And it's only what, about an hour from here? If
It's
that.
it's $185, and I think that includes zoo admission. And they give you an hour and a half tour with a guide, and they drive you all over the zoo and show you everything.
I'll do it myself on my own scooter.
That's okay, but the
And
guide
I'll-
tells you all the cool things.
I can read about it.
Right.
Do they have those interactive things too that you can get?
No.
What, they don't have them. I'm sure
I don't
they got
think so.
something that, you know.
I haven't used one of those. I'm a zoo nerd, though. I'm the guy that stands there and tells everybody all the stuff about the exhibit, and then they come over and they're like, "How long have you worked here?" I'm like, "I don't."
One more zoo thing.
One more?
Well, actually,
You pick on the zoo? Don't pick on the zoo.
no, it's not a zoo thing.
Oh.
All right, I'll save it for next
You
week.
shouldn't call the customers members of the zoo. They're not animals.
Some of them are.
Okay, you're right.
You don't deal with all of them.
You're right. That's true. All right, let's close it out with the show this week. Thank you for joining us on Card Shop Insiders. We are so grateful for your support, for listening to us, for watching the show. If you like this, please like, subscribe, and follow us on all the different social media platforms, including Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Instagram, and X, where you can find us at Card Shop Insiders. We'd like to take a second to acknowledge our Patreon patrons: Ben Grant, Brandon, Logan, Drayden, Jake, Brian, and Michael. Thank you so much for supporting our show. If you would like to interact with the show more, or you have the financial ability to support the show through Patreon, please feel free to do that, where you'll be able to get benefits from us, like our behind-the-scenes video content, where before and after the video that is published and released on Spotify and YouTube, John and I talk about things related to the podcast, some extra behind-the-scenes stuff about the store, and we publish that whole video to Patreon weekly, so that our patrons can get a little bit more value out of our wonderful bantering content.
Our Patreons love to hear stupid shit that I say. That's what they like to
And
hear.
we fill it up with that.
Yes, we do.
All right. Well, until next week's episode, folks, thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you listening. Have a good week.